Alright, so picture this. You're out there, you're exploring, you're trying to be a citizen of the world, right? You think you've got it all figured out. You smile, you nod, you try not to mispronounce croissant too badly in Paris, but then bam! You do something completely normal back home and suddenly everyone's looking at you like you've just declared pineapple the only acceptable pizza topping. Which, let's be honest, is a controversial take in any country. The world is this giant, beautiful, wonderfully weird place, and a lot of what makes it so fascinating are these little unwritten rules, these cultural handshakes, or sometimes, lack thereof, that can make or break an interaction. Today, we're going on a whirlwind tour, a global expedition into the land of oops, I didn't know that. We're diving deep into cultural etiquette from all corners of this amazing planet. We'll be hopping from continent to continent, faster than a rumor spreads on Twitter, uncovering some truly surprising customs. Think of it as your pre-travel briefing, the cheat sheet you wish you had before you accidentally offended your host, or tipped someone who really didn't want your extra cash. It's all about navigating these social mazes with a bit more grace, and maybe fewer awkward silences. So buckle up because we're about to explore 10 customs that might just flip your understanding of politeness on its head. From gestures that mean one thing here and something totally different over there, to dining habits that could save you from a social faux pas, we're covering it all. Get ready to learn, to laugh, and maybe to cringe a little at what you thought was universally acceptable. This is your guide to not being that tourist. You know the one. Let's go. First stop, the land of the rising sun, Japan. Now many of us come from places where tipping is, shall we say, encouraged. Sometimes it's subtly encouraged, like a little note on the bill, and sometimes it's like your server is performing a silent guilt trip ballet. But in Japan, tipping is generally a no-go. It's not just not expected, it can actually be seen as a bit odd, even a little insulting. Imagine trying to give your waiter extra money, and they chase you down the street to give it back looking genuinely confused. That's a real possibility. The service you receive in Japan is typically top-notch, meticulously professional, and it's all built into the price. They take immense pride in their work, from the person greeting you at the door to the chef preparing your meal. So when you try to leave a tip, it can almost imply that you think they're not being paid enough, or that their standard service wasn't good enough on its own. So, save your yen for an extra bowl of ramen, admire the impeccable service, and just offer a polite gochisu-sama deshita. Thank you for the meal. It's all the appreciation they need. Alright, let's talk about the thumbs up. Universal sign for A-OK. Sounds good, great job, right? You use it when your Wi-Fi finally connects, when someone offers you the last slice of cake. It's a classic. Well, hold on to your hats, because if you're traveling through parts of the Middle East, specifically countries like Iran, Iraq, or Afghanistan, you might want to keep that thumb tucked away. Flashing a thumbs up there isn't going to get you a smile. It's more likely to get you a very confused or even angry stare. It's considered a highly offensive gesture. Think of it as the equivalent of, well, let's just say it's the one-finger salute in many Western cultures. Yeah, that bad. So, imagine you're trying to thank your taxi driver for a smooth ride, you give him a big, enthusiastic thumbs up, and suddenly the vibe in the car gets very frosty. He's not thinking, what a nice, appreciative passenger. He's thinking something far less complimentary. It's a stark reminder that gestures don't always translate, and what's friendly in one place can be fighting words in another. So, a polite nod and a smile, much safer bet. Now let's journey to the vibrant, incredible, and beautifully complex land of India. When it comes to greetings, you might be used to a firm handshake, maybe a hug if you know the person well. But in India, while handshakes are becoming more common in business settings, the traditional and widely respected greeting is Namaste. You'll see it everywhere. It's elegant, it's respectful, and it's deeply meaningful. It involves a slight bow with your palms pressed together, fingers pointing upwards, held at your chest. It's like a little prayer of acknowledgement. The beauty of Namaste is what it signifies. The divine in me bows to the divine in you. How cool is that? It's a gesture that transcends a simple hello. It's an offering of respect and recognition of the other person's spirit. It's also wonderfully practical. No awkward do we shake, do we hug, dance, and it's a non-contact greeting, which, let's be honest, has had its moments of global appeal recently. So, when in India, embrace the Namaste. It's a beautiful way to connect and show genuine respect, setting a peaceful tone from the very first interaction. Gift giving in China is a big deal. It's really an art form, a way to show respect, build relationships, and express goodwill. There are all sorts of nuances to keep in mind, like you often present and receive gifts with two hands, and sometimes you might even politely refuse a gift a couple of times before finally accepting it. But, one of the most important things to remember, especially if you're hoping to make a good impression, is what to give. And high on that list, anything sharp. Yeah, we're talking knives, scissors, letter openers, basically anything that could cut. So why the aversion to pointy presents? Well, in Chinese culture, giving sharp objects as a gift is a major faux pas because it symbolizes the severing of a relationship or cutting ties. So, that fancy Swiss Army knife you thought would be a cool, practical gift? Maybe rethink that one, unless you're trying to send a very different message. Instead, go for things like tea, fruit baskets, or high-quality pens. It's all about the symbolism, and making sure your gift conveys warmth and a desire for a continued, unsevered friendship. Careful selection really shows you care, not just about the gift, but about the culture, too. Let's head back to East Asia, specifically Korea and Japan, for a custom that's all about keeping things clean and respectful, taking off your shoes indoors. This isn't just a casual suggestion, it's a deeply ingrained practice. Whether you're entering someone's home, a traditional restaurant with tatami mats, or even some temples and schools, you'll be expected to leave your outdoor shoes at the entrance, in an area called the Genkan, in Japan. It's a sign of respect for the cleanliness of the space and for your hosts. I mean, think about it, your shoes have been all over the streets picking up who knows what. Bringing that inside is, well, not great. Often you'll actually find guest slippers waiting for you to wear indoors. And sometimes there's even a separate pair of slippers just for the bathroom. It's a whole system. Forgetting to remove your shoes is a pretty significant social blunder, kind of like wearing a hat indoors during a formal dinner in some Western cultures. So, look for the shoe rack, follow the lead of others, and enjoy the comfort of clean floors and cozy slippers. Your feet and your hosts will definitely thank you. Ever tried to point something out without using your hands? Maybe your hands are full or you're just trying to be subtle. Well, in Argentina they've got a charming and rather unique way to do just that. They point with their lips. That's right, instead of a finger jab in the direction of interest, you might see someone purse their lips and subtly, or sometimes not so subtly, jut their chin and mouth towards whatever they want you to notice. It's a common, everyday gesture you'll spot in casual conversation. It might look a little funny, or even like they're about to blow a kiss if you're not used to it, but honestly, it's completely normal there. Imagine you ask for directions and the person just kind of pouts in the direction you need to go. It's efficient, and it's also one of those wonderfully quirky cultural habits that make travel so interesting. It's not rude, it's just how it's done. So if you see someone in Buenos Aires making a fish face, they're probably not making fun of you, they're just telling you the bathroom is way. Ah, France! The land of haute cuisine, fine wine, and very specific dining etiquette. If you're invited to a French dinner party or even eating out at a nicer restaurant, there's a good chance you're in for a sophisticated experience. And one of the golden rules you'll want to remember is, keep your elbows off the table. Yes, that thing your grandma might have told you. The French take it pretty seriously. It's considered impolite and a sign of poor manners to rest your elbows on the table while eating. But here's a little twist. While elbows are a no-no, your hands should generally remain visible, resting on the table. Wrists on the edge are okay, when you're not using your cutlery. Hiding your hands under the table can be seen as suspicious, like you're secretly playing with your phone or plotting to steal the bread rolls. So it's a delicate balance. Enjoy your meal, savor each bite. Often, French meals are leisurely affairs. But just be mindful of those elbows. It's all part of the elegant dance of French dining. Let's head north to Finland, a country known for its stunning nature, saunas, and a certain appreciation for silence, even during meals. Now, for many of us, a meal is a prime time for chatter, catching up, and lively discussion. But in Finland, particularly in more traditional or family settings, it's not uncommon for meals to be shared in relative silence. This isn't necessarily a sign of awkwardness or displeasure. Rather, it's often seen as a way to peacefully enjoy the food and the company without the need for constant verbal interaction. It reflects a broader cultural value where silence is comfortable and not something that needs to be filled. It's about being present, appreciating the moment, and respecting personal space, even in a communal setting like a dinner table. So, if you find yourself at a Finnish meal and the conversation lulls, don't feel pressured to jump in and fill the void. Embrace the quiet, focus on the flavors, and enjoy the calm. It's a different kind of togetherness, one that values contemplation as much as conversation. It's a peaceful, mindful way to share a meal. Thailand, the land of smiles, is also a land of deep-rooted respect, especially for elders. This respect is shown in many ways through language, gestures like the Y, a polite bow with hands pressed together, and even through eye contact, or rather the lack thereof. When interacting with someone older or in a position of authority in Thailand, it's customary for the younger person to avoid making direct, sustained eye contact. This isn't about being shy or dishonest, it's a sign of deference and respect. Looking an elder directly in the eye can be perceived as challenging or disrespectful, a bit too assertive. Instead, a slightly lowered gaze is preferred, indicating humility and acknowledgement of their seniority. It's a subtle but important nuance in Thai social etiquette. So, if you're interacting with an elder in Thailand and they're not meeting your gaze with the intensity you might be used to, don't misinterpret it. They're likely adhering to a cultural norm that prioritizes showing respect in this particular way. It's all about understanding these gentle, unspoken rules. Our final stop takes us to Russia, where the use of please, that's pожалуйста, and thank you, or spasibo, can be a little different from what many Westerners are accustomed to. While these words certainly exist and are used, their frequency in informal settings might seem less than in the UK or the US, where please and thank you are sprinkled liberally into almost every interaction. In Russia, overusing these polite markers can sometimes come across as overly formal or even insincere. The emphasis is often more on the action and the general tone rather than explicit verbal pleasantries for every little thing. A direct request, delivered with a normal, non-aggressive tone, is perfectly acceptable and not considered rude. For instance, instead of "could you please pass the salt if you don't mind," just "pass the salt" might be common among friends or family. It's not about a lack of politeness but rather a different cultural script where actions, helpfulness, and a generally agreeable demeanor often speak louder than a constant stream of pleases and thank yous. And there you have it. 10 cultural customs from around the world that hopefully surprised you, maybe made you chuckle, and definitely gave you something to think about. From not tipping in Tokyo to pointing with your lips in Argentina, it's clear that what's considered polite or normal can change dramatically the moment you cross a border. It's a beautiful, complex tapestry of human interaction. And honestly, isn't that what makes exploring our world so incredibly fascinating? These aren't just random rules, they're windows into history, values, and different ways of seeing life. The amazing thing is, while the specifics of etiquette vary wildly, the underlying intention is often the same: to show respect, to foster connection, and to navigate social situations smoothly. Nobody wants to be offensive, and nobody wants to feel awkward. Learning about these differences isn't about memorizing a giant list of do's and don'ts to avoid embarrassment. It's about cultivating empathy, curiosity, and a willingness to adapt. It's about understanding that our way isn't the only way, and that there's so much to learn from each other. So, the next time you're packing your bags or even just interacting with someone from a different background in your own city, remember that a little bit of cultural awareness goes a long, long way. It opens doors, builds bridges, and makes the whole experience of being a global citizen richer and more rewarding. Because at the end of the day, understanding and respecting each other's customs isn't just good manners, it's how we connect on a deeper, more human level. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep respecting.